Hi, my name is Amber Lalaker, and I'm here to talk about sound waves. Before we talk about that, sound waves are a form of mechanical energy, which is how sound is perceived outside of the ear. The aura or pinna is what captures that mechanical energy. It sends it through the EAM or external auditory meatus, at which point it hits your tympanic membrane. And from there, it now becomes acoustic energy. It goes through this ossicular chain and many other parts of the middle ear and inner ear. And once it hits that inner ear, it's converted into electrical energy. And that electrical energy is what sends those signals to the brain. And that's how we interpret the sound around us. Now let's talk about sound waves. I made this fun experiment about a rubber band guitar, but I also happen to play guitar and can tell you that the sounds that you're hearing, very out of tune, are influenced by the mass of these strings, the tension that is put on these strings, and how they're being plucked. And then of course we use things to amplify those sounds as well. But as far as how the sound is generated, so let's talk about sound waves. So how this works is when I'm plucking something, there are molecules all around us and they're tightly compacted in the air. And what happens is when you pluck something, you have now moved those molecules, struck this, and it has bounced against those molecules and bounced back. And this is what is creating those sound waves, is that strike is going forward into the molecule and bouncing back. So like imagine an air balloon. It's full of air, right? Inside the air balloon is full of molecules, outside the air balloon is full of molecules. The air balloon pops and it sends all those molecules out and they're colliding with all the other molecules around them and outside of them. And that is what we're hearing, is all of those collisions. Now, sound can be measured in a lot of ways. So there's different kinds of waves. There are transverse waves, longitudinal waves, and sine, I think I'm saying that right, waves. We also can feel, but hear those vibrations, right? And then there's different ways of measuring sound. So frequency, pitch, and things that affect frequency can be mass and length and stiffness. So kind of like we were talking about with the guitar. And so like this guitar or this guitar, I put some thicker rubber bands on it, which make that sound, and I put some thinner rubber bands on it. And this one is stretched really tight, so it's thin and stretched tight. So we're talking about mass, length, and stiffness. And that all has an effect on the sound, much like this is a large mass string and it's not pulled very tight. This string is very, very thin and it's pulled very tight. So it's going to give off a different sound. Well, that's all I have for you about sound waves.